Hello and welcome to the Power of Healing Your Energy show. I'm Christine with 24 Karat Healing. I'm your spiritual medium, intuitive energy coach, and old soul healer. And this show is all about energy and raising the vibrations. Can be done through several ways. Sound therapy, a little bit of color, art therapy, singing, dancing, essential oils, smudging, candles, one of my favorites, crystals, or just laughing, having fun, being childlike. So each week I have a special guest or a interesting topic. It's all about your spiritual path and unconditional love, and my wish is that everyone finds it within them. So we're interactive, get comfy, settle in, join the conversation, the collective energy by leaving comments and questions below. Even on the replay, we will respond. And this week I have a beautiful soul with me. Her name is Kelsey Matheson. And we actually met online. Go figure. And she was actually one of the first women to support the start in my spiritual journey. She brought me on her own lives and shows, and actually got quite a few referrals from her. So thank you. If I never thanked you before, you gave me an amazing start in my business, and I'm ever grateful. And Kelsey, if you do not know, she is an award-winning entrepreneur, success coach, speaker based in Brooklyn, New York. She has built numerous international businesses, including Anamaya Resort, a world-renowned boutique hotel and retreat center in Costa Rica. And one day I will be there. A Bee Outfitter, a backpack and outdoor gear company that helps provide children around the world with an education. Thank you, Kelsey. So nice to see you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. I'm so excited to be here with you today.
I am as well. And you're doing so many exciting things. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got here.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting journey, but I'll give you the shortened version. I never thought I was going to become an entrepreneur and build businesses. After I went to college, although I did go to business school, but after I went to college, I ended up becoming a performer. I was an actor, dancer, and then I was, as an actor, I went to theater school in New York City. But when I started working, I was a little frustrated with the roles that I was receiving, and I was kind of tired of being the bud girl, so to speak. And so I started producing, and that balance of creativity and business, that really lit me up. That lit up my soul. And then my career shifted, and I moved away from the film and TV industry. I got married. I had my daughter. And I opened up Anamaya Resort, and we're going to be 10 years old this December, actually, from when we opened our doors.
Wow.
And then through building Anamaya, I was one of the founders of Bee Outfitter, which is an outdoor gear company that you mentioned. And with our products, we help to provide children around the world with an education who otherwise couldn't afford an education. And then I had a yoga clothing company for a while, and then I have the Optimal Health and Conscious Living Academy, which is an online academy for women, for women who really want to take control of their health and their well-being without all of the diets and the gimmicks. Anyway, through all of that, I had a lot of women coming to me going, "I want to know what you do. I want to learn how you do it." And so I started coaching. And so I coach one-on-one, and I consider myself like a success and empowerment coach. And then I also started a group coaching program, which you were a part of for a little while,
Yes.
A mastermind for female entrepreneurs. And so we take a look at where their business is right now and where they want to take it. And then we spend the year working on getting you there. So it all kind of fell into my lap organically, but I love doing what I'm doing, and I love working with women. And it might sound a little corny, but I truly believe that the more women we empower to step into their roles as leaders, the better this world will be. And not only for our generation, but for generations to come. And so that's kind of where my focus has been. I mean, I still work, I build my businesses, but that's where my focus has been more recently.
Amazing. Yeah. And I totally agree with that. Empowering each other.
Yeah.
It seems to be, there's an imbalance. I don't know, maybe you feel it sometimes, but either they're with you or they're not. And I don't feel there should be any competition.
Yes.
Everybody is unique and have their own gifts. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I can dabble in a whole bunch of things, but I cannot be everything for everyone.
That's right.
So that's why I'm trying to bring in, yourself and others, experts in their own fields. And, maybe I don't resonate with someone and vice versa. They would resonate with you. So, and that's beautiful. We want everyone to develop their gifts and to find their journey, their path, what they're meant to do.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to connect with the person that you're working with. And I remember somebody posted something on Facebook once that said they were complaining about all of the coaches. Everyone's a coach these days. There's so many coaches. And I thought, well, how do I feel about that? Because there was a whole bunch of comments. And I was like, I love that. I love it. The more coaches, the better. Bring it on, because what really matters is that their clients are getting results.
Yes.
And if their clients are getting results, then that's fantastic, because then there's transformation happening. If their clients aren't getting results and they're not getting referrals and they're not getting the testimonials, then that's their journey for them to take a look at, how can I improve? Or is this something that I really should be doing? Or is my soul calling me to do this work? Or should I be doing something else? But I believe that we all, and you and I have talked about this, we all have our own individual X factor that makes us unique, that makes us special, that makes somebody want to work with you instead of me, or me instead of, somebody next door, or, whatever that is. So I say, bring it. The more coaches, healers, thought leaders, the better this world will be. I feel like I keep saying that, but it's true.
No, and I agree as well. I mean, but I think, unfortunately, I do a lot of ego work, and that's what we go. It's our go-to. I guess it's our comfort zone. It's what we know. It's how we've been brought up. It's what we see, and that's how we think we should be, right? So I guess the more we talk about stuff like this, I guess the more awareness. I really want everyone to have their own aha moments, epiphanies, growth and healing more than anything. So, and then you also created an Optimal Health and Conscious Living Academy.
Yes. So the Optimal Health and Conscious Living Academy is for women who feel like the rug has been ripped out from underneath them in terms of their health and wellness. And one of the reasons why I created this was because, so back in 2009, in November, I had my daughter, and then in December, I opened Anamaya, my first, major business. And I don't recommend to anyone having a newborn and starting a business at the exact same time. Don't do it. It's a really bad idea. And so what happened was, I was a new mom trying to navigate that new journey, and then started a business in another country trying to navigate that journey at the exact same time. Yeah. And so I inevitably, I drove my health and wellness into the ground in a major way. I don't think I ever really recovered fully from, having my daughter. I think I was in complete denial about postpartum depression. I think I was just go with trying to make the business a success, and, just basically just get it off the ground, really. I ended up with, hypothyroidism. My adrenals were completely flatlined. I would get, hives and other skin, conditions based just completely out of stress. And then I started going down this kind of dark, deep spiral of depression, and started having some really, really dark thoughts. And there is a history in my family of depression and suicide and addiction. And I was like, oh, this is a slippery slope. I got to figure this out. And so I went to my doctor, my conventional doctor, and she was like, well, your thyroid looks fine and your blood work looks fine. And if you'd like to have, an antidepressant, then I can, write you out a prescription. And I was like, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that is, that if you need, and I know, and there are situations where people do need that help. But for me at that time, I was like, there's something that's not okay. At a deeper level, something is not okay. And I really want to uncover what that is. And so I spent about a 4 or 5 year journey meeting naturopaths and healers and different types of like functional doctors, integrative doctors, acupuncturists, like Chinese doctors. I went and I saw everyone that I could, and I tried every program, and I feel like I bought every supplement. I tried it all. And literally I was in a position that I spent thousands, tens of thousands, I'm sure. If I added it all up, it would be probably really crazy how much money I spent. But what it did do is it was basically like going to university. I got this education that I don't regret, paying for. And I learned so much about the most misdiagnosed and misunderstood areas of women's health, especially for that age range, when a lot is changing. A lot of us have had children, but even some of the women that I worked with who hadn't had children, but they're like, I feel like I don't even know my body anymore. Like, I just feel like there's this Jekyll and Hyde thing going on, and I'm working out like a beast, but I'm gaining weight, or I'm feeling, all of these, I could go on, but all of these different symptoms. And I was like, yeah, this is the area that I'm learning so much about. And then I partnered with a number of experts, and then I created this academy for these women to give them hope and the tools and the knowledge to get their health and wellness back on track without trying all the gimmicks and all the diets and all the, we're bombarded with all of that stuff. It's so noisy. We're bombarded with it all of the time, and you just don't know what to do. It's confusing. It's like looking at a menu that's way too big, and it's too hard to choose when there's too many options.
That is true.
But also you don't necessarily know what's right for you, because your journey to optimal health and wellness is going to be very different from mine, is going to be very different from my best friends, is going to be very different, from my sister. Like, it's not a one size all fits, journey. And so that's another reason why you can tell I'm very passionate about women's health, because I think a lot of us feel like we don't have options or resources or access to the knowledge, or we don't feel like we're being supported by our practitioners. And I'm not against, doctors, in any way, but I know a lot of the women I work with have felt that they just didn't get the support they were looking for.
Or they had to fight tooth and nail to be heard or to be taken seriously. I hear you. I was there.
You can relate.
I went through that for about a year. So but everything's great now. Yeah. But I know what you mean. You start diving in, and it's going down the black hole, I guess, of health and wellness. It just never ends.
Yeah. And feeling alone and not feeling supported and not knowing what's right for you, and not knowing, you don't know what's right for you because sometimes you really don't know what's happening in your body. You don't know what the issues are. You don't know why you're feeling certain things.
That is true. And Liz is saying hello.
Hey,
Hi, Liz. Thanks for joining. Please ask a question or comment if you're struggling. If any of you are thinking about starting a business or starting into a health journey, spiritual journey, ask away. Because I mean, you may think it's a silly question, but you might actually ask the same question that someone is too afraid to ask. Okay. So it's there's no such thing as a silly question. I think what's silly is that we don't ask.
That's right.
And Lynn says she lost me for a minute. So I guess maybe at the beginning, it usually starts that way.
Right.
We like to have fun with technology, and being empaths, we tend to drain electronics. Or I think I kind of blew out a light bulb the other day. So not on purpose. So I was thinking too hard. Okay, Lynn is asking about starting an animal healing and communications. That is I love animals, so I think that's an amazing way to go. Do you have any tips for her?
I mean, I feel like it's a niche that there's a gap, right? There's a big gap in that niche. I think there's again, kind of like how I went to my doctor for help, and they're like, okay, well, here's all these prescriptions, and and I knew now there's something else going on. I think animal healing and communicating with animals in a different level gives us other options, and we don't have those types of options. One of my clients who I do one-on-one coaching with, she's a Reiki practitioner for animals as well as a massage therapist for animals, and it's fantastic because there's a huge clientele, me included, that are looking for alternative ways to improve the health and the wellness of our pets, because we do that for ourselves. Why wouldn't we for our pets? And I actually have a personal experience with losing a dog to cancer because I just took the advice of a vet. And unfortunately, he only lived 5 years. So, Lynn, I love it. I think that's a great idea.
Yes, I do too. And of course, she's saying she wants to focus on the energy healing, not definite. Is that your friend? Is her name Reagan?
Yes, Reagan.
Yes. And she's in Toronto?
She's based in Toronto. That's right. Yeah. And so she's a part of my mastermind. And then just this past year, she became a one-on-one client with me. So we work, together every week for her to reach her goals. And again, she is catering to people who don't want to go down the conventional route, who want to know more about essential oils, who want to do Reiki healing, for their animals and for their pets, because they know that energy healing is really impactful. So I love it. I love that, Lynn. I think it's I love
it. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Thinking and manifesting and just go for it. I always say just have fun with it.
Yeah.
And
Lynn, I would say, what is your level of expertise now? Have you done all the training that you need to do, or do you have all of the tools, or do you still need to go down that route? Like, where would you be at in terms of starting a business for yourself?
Yeah, that's a great question. Definitely. It's good. And she says, it's happening, baby.
Oh, yeah. All right. Nice.
And, where she's living is she's in Manitoba. So I feel this is a really good, she's one of my very first clients as well.
Oh, nice.
So it's nice to see her growing and going her way. That's okay. She says just starting, and she's starting with Reiki, which is a great place to start.
Yeah.
I always say, once you own your own energy, and that honestly, Reiki, everyone should have Reiki in their toolkit.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the one thing that I would consider, asking yourself, Lynn, would be, what is my X factor? What makes me unique? What makes people want to work with me opposed to, say, somebody else? And there might be somebody else in your space, or there might not be. But if you did have a few competitors, whether it's in Manitoba or Toronto or Calgary, but what would make somebody want to work with you compared to somebody else? And again, it's not really competitive. It's just about owning your power, about knowing what makes you special and what makes you unique, so that you can really present that.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And that's just it. Finding a niche. I mean, I can attest to it. I wanted to do 20 things. Well, that's great. You can have fun with all these things, but at the end of the day, people want to know, can you solve my problem? And what are you specifically very good at or very passionate about? I mean, I've learned a lot watching you as well and working with you. And she's amazing, guys. I mean, at the end, she's going to leave her links and her website information. I'd highly recommend following her and joining her groups as well. You're going to get a lot of insight, a lot of support.
Definitely.
And I mean, I believe Reagan and I are friends as well on Facebook. So, I mean, just start building your network, I guess, is the biggest thing. And being online, it's unlimited.
Yeah, it really is. It's massive. I mean, even from 10 years ago when we opened Anamaya Resort, things have changed, and they just keep changing at a rapid pace.
Definitely. Lynn is just saying she's finding it difficult to find local Reiki teachers in the animal field, so I'll have to go to Silver Cove online. Okay, no, I get that, and I'm animal Reiki master as well, so I'm working on a course. But there are people out there. I mean, once you have the Reiki piece, you can do that online as well.
Yeah, you can
I
do it
mean, depending
remotely.
on who you talk to, it's what you believe in. If you got a collective energy behind you, you can do it.
Yeah, I know Reagan does remote Reiki.
Yes.
And then maybe if you want to, because Reagan is a friend of yours online, maybe connect Lynn and Reagan so they can, they can chat about it.
Yes. Yeah, I will connect you, Lynn. It's all good. We'll connect. We'll get the connection for you after the show.
Yeah.
And she just says, "What makes me special is I'm friggin' awesome." Her
Nice.
sense of humor is pretty. She's
awesome.
blunt. She is. I've done kitty rescue, and I've always been attracted to animals.
Oh, great. So I would go deeper. That's brilliant. So you are friggin' awesome. You freaking rock. And you've done kitty rescue. So I would go into how that then helps your, your future clients, that understanding and that experience. And then that always been attracted to animals, like, how does that help? And what does that mean for you? And like, where did your passion come from? And have you, always had just a special connection and, just even go deeper into that. And you don't have to do it right now. I'm just saying like things to think about so that when you're putting yourself out there and you're promoting yourself, that's all infused in your communication.
Exactly. I'm just giving her, go get them. Go get them.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah, amazing. So I guess what are you working on right now, or what's your next project or projects?
Yeah, I have two actually. So Anamaya, we have just launched our own subscription box. So if you can't get to paradise, we'll bring paradise to you. So because not a lot of people can go to Anamaya every year, or they don't know, when the next holiday, vacation time that they're going to have is going to be. So we decided to launch this subscription box. And so it is a box of self-care that inspires me time. So for example, we have like clay facial masks that, remind you of, the clay masks in Costa Rica, or there's in the current box, there's a pillow that's called Om on the Go. And it's a travel pillow, but then inside it is a portable yoga mat. So you can use it in the hotel rooms or, in the airport or whatnot, but it turns into a travel pillow. So it's all kind of Anamaya curated items, but all to really encourage me time and self-care. And so that is really exciting. We just launched that this year. And then actually we had a Kickstarter launch today for my business Bee Outfitter for our new product, which is called the Campo. And it's a hammock that turns into a rain poncho that is also a tarp that can be used for shelter or ground cover. So it's really geared towards like outdoor people who love to hike, who love to camp, who love to be outside. And so we just launched that today, actually. So lots going on.
Amazing. And it's got multi-uses. I love that.
Yeah.
And I love the self-care. I mean, that's huge. I mean, we used to think that self-care was like maybe one day a week or a month, and it's every day.
It's every day, and it's every day in different ways, and so, and I think there's still a lot of women who feel like it's selfish. And so that's a huge block. And I know I work with it with a lot of my clients, but it's important. And so the idea of the box is to encourage more self-care, encourage more me time, because we end up being better moms, business owners, partners, career women, whatever it is that we're doing, we end up being a lot more efficient and effective at that when we take care of ourselves. So, and I guess the other thing I should mention is the mastermind. The mastermind is still running. I have a mastermind for female entrepreneurs. It's an intimate group. Right now we're at about 18 or 19, and I probably won't go much larger than 25, but it's an intimate group of women who are building their businesses, and that's been a lot of fun because it's not cheap to work with me one-on-one, but I wanted to help more women, and so I did it in a group setting and in a way that would be affordable. So that's a lot of fun too, and that's one of the groups that I should say projects, or one of the things I've got going on that I really get super excited about. So.
Yeah, because I'm sure the energy, I mean, I've been part of the group.
Yeah.
The group energy is pretty dynamic. You bounce ideas off each other.
Yeah.
Things just, you might feel stuck, and then all of a sudden, like the portal opens up, the light comes in, and aha, you've got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, synchronicities, right?
Yeah.
It's all about networking and working with the right folks, or just leave your network open. You never know who's going to come through it.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely. So Lynn is just saying she needs to get into a different zone mentally when I'm rehabbing. I'm not sure what that means, Lynn. What are you up to? But she knows what needs to be done. Okay. Wonderful. Zane is saying hello.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. Let us know if you have any questions. Any fellow entrepreneurs out there thinking of starting a business, thinking of starting, a journey. Do you have any questions? Not know where to start? I know for me, I think the social media piece can be pretty daunting, or you can get lost in it. Do you have any tips, I guess, in regards to social media?
Yeah, it's a good question. I would say don't do them all. If you think, well, I have to be on Pinterest, and I have to be on Instagram, and I have to do Facebook and LinkedIn, and and all of the other ones, I don't need Twitter. You don't need to do them all. What you need to do is find out who your clientele is and where they live. Yes. So, who is your clientele? And then you sit down and you do the research. Where are they? Where are my people? Where do they live? And then you want to spend the most time there. So you might only have one handle that you focus on a lot, and there's another one, YouTube. There's so many. Or you might have two, but I would say focus on the ones where your people are, and then spend time there. And then you can nurture and dedicate those platforms and not have to worry about doing it all.
True, and there's a lot of automation as well that you can utilize, or once you're at a certain point, or you can decide what your budget is.
Yeah, you hire people.
You can hire people, or get a virtual assistant to do all the maybe you're not interested in, or takes a lot of energy from you, which it happens to me, and focus on the stuff that you love to do, right?
Yeah. Where your area of genius is, where your area of genius.
Yes.
But I would say, learn. One thing I would say though is learn where your people are. Even if you do hire somebody else and you pass it on to them, make sure you know your people. Make sure you know your X factor. Make sure you know your people's your clients' pain points. Make sure the mission of your business, because then that is going to be infused into every single post in its own way, in your communications, in your messaging. And so, and then when you do have somebody that you hire to do that, they know, and you're very clear with them. And
it's very targeted. Yeah, makes sense. People can know within 5 seconds who you are, what you do, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Lynn, what's the first step in getting set up? And she's asking about, a media page, a website. I mean, go ahead. But for me, I thought, this is how everything is done. But actually, I've learned that, I could have made a few shortcuts. I've learned a lot of things, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, the first thing I say is don't go into analysis paralysis where everything has to be perfect. Start. But in terms of like what's, getting set up, I mean, you like, a lot of people think, well, I have to have a website before I can put myself out there. Sorry, my hair is caught in my thing. I have to get a website, or I have to have the perfect logo, or I have to have, all these things in place. And you don't necessarily, but I would just initially, if what your X factor is, who are your clients? What do they need? what are their pain points, get super
Yes.
clear on what their pain points are, because you are solving something for them, right? So what are you solving? And then the mission of your business, right? And so once you kind of have that, you can start, even just on Facebook, start communicating that. You can put it out there just in a simple post saying, hey, all my peeps, this is what I'm doing. Anybody who's interested, let me know. I would I would work with a few people for free.
Yes.
Initially, and get feedback and get testimonials.
Yes.
Are so important. And the one thing about testimonials is that it is the most underused tool for promoting your business. It's social proof that people love you and love working with you. So make sure that you get your testimonials, and you can do that by working with people for free, and also get their feedback. Oh, well, I really love this, or maybe you might want to tweak that, or, okay, great. So then you can fine tune the way that you do business. So then when you put yourself out and you start charging, you already have that experience under your belt. I would start, for example, if you feel like your people are on Facebook, then I would start looking for that clientele and add them as friends. Sorry, go ahead. You're going to say something.
No, I agree with all the points. I mean, just it's almost like a reversing your plan. You need to find the problem, the pain point, and then kind of branch out from there. And just get on Facebook. Just come out of the closet. Like I came out of the spiritual closet. I'm like, here I am.
Yeah, this is what I do.
Yeah. And it was amazing. And, I pledged to do, I believe I did around 40 to 50 complimentary readings and healings, even before I charged anything.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was more for me because I was stuck in analysis paralysis, and I'm a perfectionist. I'm no longer. I'm a former perfectionist, by the way.
Yeah. Because here's the thing is, perfectionism is the most disempowering state you can be in. Right? Because it basically essentially is blocking you, and there is no such thing as perfection. It doesn't exist.
Exactly.
So
I agree.
Yeah. So I would say start to put yourself out there, communicate to people. This is what you do. Look on Facebook if there are groups of people who do similar work that you can join and see. Start connecting with other people.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's like it's getting those first steps under your belt that will then create the clarity of what you need to do next. Oh, okay, yes, actually, I do need a website, and I can, either hire somebody or do that myself. Or yes, okay, I want to create a logo and a name and a business card and all of that. Great, but you don't have to have all that in place to start.
No, and you find that don't make some of the mistakes I did. I mean, it can be a learning experience. And Lynn, she says she's going to start focusing on rescues. That's amazing in your area, and get to know. And that's what I do. I volunteer my time for animal rescue.
Nice.
Because I love animals. So I love doing that piece. That's the piece that I love to do. So definitely go with that energy. Go with, what feels good.
Yeah.
And just get on Facebook and start playing around. She makes bracelets already. So she makes a beautiful,
Oh, yeah, nice. So
she's talented that way.
The entrepreneur bug bit her a long time ago.
She does. I think if something's really, that you're really passionate about, sometimes scares you and fear gets in the way.
Yeah.
So do it more.
Yeah. Baby steps.
Baby steps. Take the leap. All right. So you've got two things coming up. You've got that self-care box, and then
the Pure Vita kit.
Yes, that's right. And are you working on any other groups? Like, how many groups do you have?
Well, so I only have my mastermind for female entrepreneurs in terms of group coaching, and then I do one-on-one coaching.
One-on-one.
So
okay.
One-on-one coaching, I usually only take on 5 clients at a time, because I still am running my own businesses. I'm still I'm a pretty busy lady, and I'm a mom, and I'm a wife, and I have responsibilities, and I don't like to wear the busy badge. I think that the busy badge some people use as a badge of honor, and I think that we all battle busyness culture, and I works with my clients to not have to deal with that.
Yes.
But I think it, for a lot of people, it gives us a sense of, status.
Which all goes back to the ego. But
yeah, exactly.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So with my one-on-one clients, I only take on 5 at a time. And because of that, I was like, well, I still had a lot of women coming to me saying, I want to work with you. So, I thought, well, how can I reach more women, make it affordable? But I'm not going to have to dedicate a ton of time, because I do dedicate a lot of time to my one-on-one clients.
Yes.
And so I came up with the mastermind, and it's, we launched it a little over a year ago, and now we're into our 2nd year, and it's just thriving. I was considering, which is interesting, you probably felt this, which is why you asked, but I was considering doing a mastermind in a similar format that I do with my women entrepreneurs, and do it that is based out of the academy. So everything that I teach within the academy, we would do a mastermind for that, and then bring on experts, and we have sessions every week that basically are, incorporates everything that the academy teaches.
Well, I'm intrigued now.
I know. I haven't launched that, but it's been stirring, and I've talked to a few people about it. So it's like, wonder why Christine's asking me this. So yeah.
Because I felt like there was more. I just felt like there's more. You've always got something going on. Speaking of that, I'm part of, you're doing like a 5-day challenge.
Oh, yes.
Maybe want to talk to people about that, so they could still jump in, because it's not really a lot of work. You just have to show up.
That's pretty much it. So I have a group called the Powerful Womenpreneurs. It is for women, and maybe we can put a link into that group. But it's a Powerful Womenpreneur group. It's a Facebook group. It's specifically for women who are building their businesses, or who maybe are interested in building a business, or who have maybe a side hustle, as they call it. And so I'm doing a 5-day challenge. It started on Monday, and the idea is that there's a little exercise that you follow from Monday to Friday. And you just have to answer, just basically there's a little exercise, and then you post the results of your exercise in the chat, or you can send it to me privately if you don't want to post it. And so if you answer every exercise from Monday to Friday, and they're pretty simple. I mean, you've done them now. They're simple. But the idea of it is that it's going to get you back on track if you've kind of lost your steam, or keep you at the top of your game, excuse me, to reach the goals that you set for yourself for 2019. And I know not all people set goals like, for this year, I'm going to do this, but just in terms of, it could be 2019, it could just be the goals that you set for yourself. And the idea is like, it's already October. Back in January, you might've set some goals for yourself. Don't let that fizzle out. And then this, come January 2020, you're like, okay, now this is going to be the year. So I'm trying to encourage you to really take advantage of this last quarter and crush your goals for 2019. So if you answer do all the exercises Monday to Friday, you get entered into a draw. And on Sunday, I'm drawing 3 names. The first winner gets an hour coaching session with me. Yay! The second winner gets their own Anamaya subscription box, the Pura Vida kit. Yeah. Which is right here. And then the third gift is this. It's my favorite journal of all time. They're designed by a Montreal designer, and they're made in Italy. And they're gorgeous and they're stunning. So the third winner gets one of my journals, one of my favorite journals. And it's super easy. It's just, the idea is to motivate you to finish out 2019, at the top of your game, kind of have fun and meet some of the other women who are doing this challenge, and then, win some prizes. So,
and cheer each other on. I mean, I love that I've seen a couple posts from other folks talking about 2019 and what's left. November, 2 months left, 2.5 months. What's going on? Have you followed everything that you wanted at the beginning of the year? you did put perspective for me, and
Oh, good.
you know, talking about goals and just writing them down, you know, you're putting them out to the universe.
That's right.
You're like, okay, we got this, right?
Yeah.
Because like you said, we tend to be our own worst critics, very hard on ourselves, and we forget all of our triumphs.
Yeah.
And
We don't
tend to
celebrate
focus,
ourselves enough.
yeah, we don't celebrate enough, or we think we're being, you know, we're bragging, or, oh, I don't want to be seen, or
especially as
what are
Canadians.
people, yes, we're so nice.
Yeah.
I don't know what are people going to think?
Yeah.
No. Well, they're going to think, wow, that you go, girl.
Like,
But
Lynn,
that's
she's
what
freaking awesome. They're going to think that you're freaking awesome.
Yeah, Lynn. And she says she's on it. So
Yeah.
you know what? We're watching.
I love it. Love it.
Putting out, like, all you asked, like, what did you do this year?
Yeah.
Celebrate your, so I was sitting in my car and I wrote for about 10 minutes.
Isn't that awesome?
I want to thank you for that, because that really put my mindset in, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I did a heck of a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And how did you feel, like, after you recognized, wow, like I
felt
butt so
pretty badass, actually.
Yeah. That's it.
Did a cartwheel in the parking lot. No.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, whoop, whoop. All right.
But that's the idea. We don't celebrate ourselves enough. And part of that celebrating, there's science behind it. And the science behind it is that it trains our brain that this is something we need to do more of. This is something I want to work towards more. Where typically, especially for women, you know, oh, I didn't do this. Oh, I'm not good enough at that. Or, oh, why didn't I achieve, you know, that I set I set myself up for failure. Oh, I can never do anything right. Oh, I did. Like, those are the, you know, the tapes we play.
Yes.
And then when you sit down and go, okay, what did you achieve this year? And like you said, you're like, oh, this and this and this. And now all of a sudden you're typing for like 10 minutes and you're like, I freaking rock. You know, like Lynn says, she's freaking awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, Lynn. You're so sweet. Yeah. No, and I love those exercises. So, you know, thank you.
Yeah. I'm glad you're participating.
So am I. I do like to, I always, you know, it's funny. I always ask that of my clients, and then look at me not doing it myself. So give myself a kick in the butt, but it's all good.
It's all good. It's quite simple, but it can be profound. You know, sometimes those simple tasks can be quite profound. And I'm glad that you were able to do that. And, you know, whether you cartwheeled or not, you had that feeling of badassery. You know what I mean? Yes. And I think that that's really important, because I think around this time, it's October, you know, for most of it's starting to get colder. It's starting to get darker. We start to go into hibernation mode, and we start to look at what we didn't accomplish. And I think it's important to look at what you did.
Yeah, no, let's cheer and celebrate, you know, all of our wins. And, you know, even losses or failures, honestly, at least you tried.
Yeah, it's all lessons.
That's how I see them. They're all lessons.
They're all lessons. I say that it's, with my clients, I talk a lot about this. It's all feedback from the universe. Nothing is good or bad. It's all, and I don't mean this, I'm going to say this word, even though we just talked about how it doesn't exist. It's all perfect. But what I mean by that is it's not perfect in a perfectionist type of way. I just mean it is exactly the way it's supposed to be, good, bad, ugly, or otherwise. It's exactly the way it's supposed to be, because it's feedback from the universe for us to heal, for us to grow, for us to learn these lessons so that we can evolve our soul, which is why we're here on this planet in the first place. Yes,
exactly. And a lot of things that loop around, like what you see is a reflection. It's a mirror.
Absolutely. It's so interesting. I had a very interesting talk with one of my clients today about reflection. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
What we accept in others, we accept of ourselves. And when we judge others, it's a part of us that we judge. And so we have to, when we have those moments, to just take a step back and go, okay, I'm being judgy. I'm being judgy in this moment. So what am I actually judging, you know, in myself right now?
That is true. And I highly, you know, believe in the intuitive writing, or the gratitude journal, or whatever you want to call it. Or as Brene Brown, you know, your shitty first draft when you're having a temper tantrum, like a 5-year-old, you write it out.
That's right.
And then you read it back later and go, my goodness. Okay, there's some things I need to work on. I've written multiple shitty first drafts, so I don't care.
It's great. It's all
Yeah,
about that growth.
definitely. We're all
And
about growing and sharing and connection and
yeah,
bridging.
and looking at things from multiple perspectives. If you only see,
Yes.
if you want to be right about everything, you are blocking yourself from growth. And if you only see things from one perspective, like through tunnel vision, you are
Yes.
also blocking yourself from growth. And so I always say
Yeah.
that the person with the most perspectives has the most power. And
Boom.
yeah, yeah,
I like that. Perspective is power.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely,
amazing.
yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up in a few minutes. I know you're 2 hours ahead. So,
Yeah, it's 6:47 here right now. Yeah.
oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you have other, things, and I believe did your hubby have to kind of step in there for you with your daughter? Didn't she have an event?
Yeah, well, she
Yeah.
had the day off. She had
Oh, the day
she had the
off.
day off today because it's Yom Kippur, so they have the
Oh,
day off.
that's right.
And so my husband, I've been here in my office since I think around maybe 8:30 or 9 this morning, and I've been
Oh
here
my
all day
goodness.
working. And my husband and my daughter had a daddy-daughter day, so very
Oh,
good.
that's so
Yeah.
sweet.
So after this, I'm going to head home and have dinner and hang out with them, and yeah. So
Nice. All right. Well, I thank you again for coming on. I, really, really appreciate it. Love your energy, love your expertise. And of course, if anybody is catching this on the replay, go ahead, ask questions, reach
yeah,
out, connect. We will reply. We will
absolutely.
respond. We're not going to leave you hanging.
No.
And of course, I'm going to leave all of Kelsey's contact information on her groups, her academies,
Mm-hmm.
her resort, her bee outfitter. I mean, gosh, there's so many
There's a
things,
lot going
right?
on. Yeah, I know.
And Lynn is just saying, thank you, ladies. Interesting topic.
Thank you,
Thank you, Lynn,
Lynn.
for
All
joining
the
and
best with you
sharing.
and your new venture. It's
Yeah,
exciting.
definitely. It
Yeah.
is exciting. I'm so excited for her. So, and please, if you want to reach out to Kelsey, please do so.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking to grow in your business, definitely reach out to Kelsey. If you're
Definitely.
looking to, you're looking for some health options as well, reach out. And myself, I am doing this is actually Kelsey's idea when we last spoke. I'm doing what she,
Yay.
suggested. Yay! I have an online Zoom event. It's limited to 10 people, so everyone gets a personal reading and healing with myself. It is this Saturday. It is for the full Hunter's Moon.
Oh, nice.
This Saturday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Comment below if you would like the link, or all the information is on my page as well at 24 Karat Healing. And again, it's limited to 10 beautiful souls. Your investment is $22.22.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that.
I know. I love numbers as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So, and if you're looking to connect with a reading or healing, reach out, let me know.
Awesome.
And again, I want to wish you guys love, light, and blessings. And please remember, healing begins where the ego ends. Take care, everybody, and have a beautiful week.
Thank you, Christine.
Thanks, Kelsey.